Mr. Hany Mustafa,
يا
how
اهلا
are
وسهلا.
you?
I'm
ازيك
good.
how are
I'm
you?
good. All is good.
طبعا we're both Egyptians بس this topic entails what we're going to speak about today will entail a lot of people who might be interested who don't speak Arabic, so that's why we decided to have the interview in English.
Yes, no problem.
And this is the first time I actually do يعني we wanted to have it face to face for a long time, but we just our schedules never met. So we decided we're gonna try and do it on Zoom, and hopefully the people get a lot of value out of it. And I wanted to start by asking you, you are the founder and managing director of Prime Properties. Can you give
Yes.
us just a brief introduction about Prime Properties and what do you do?
Okay. So, thank you very much for having me. And about the company, I started the company in 2009. And
Okay.
when we started, it was a consultancy firm for real estate developers to
Okay.
do for them researches and business development, strategic planning, highest and best use analysis for projects, and so on. And then in 2011, the Egyptian revolution happened, and then we started working on the citizenship and residency by investment. And the first country we started working in was Cyprus.
Okay.
And back then there wasn't such developed concept of residency and citizenship by investment. It was just a ministerial decree saying that if you purchase a property by 300,000 euros, you get the residency permit. Um, so from there, the rest of the European countries started to mimic the same program. And then Spain followed, Portugal,
Portugal.
Greece, Hungary. So many countries in Europe started to look into such way of attracting investment through this residency by investment programs. By 2015, we were the first Egyptian company to receive credentials from the or authorization from the Caribbean countries to promote the Caribbean programs, which are
Okay.
the most famous citizenship by investment programs. And in
More famous than
2000,
the European?
no, it was the back then it was the citizenship of the Caribbean islands.
Okay.
We will speak about Europe, I think, at a later
Later
stage.
stage, yeah.
But in 2019, in December 2019, the Egyptian parliament approved the citizenship by investment program for foreigners who wish to obtain the Egyptian citizenship, which was quite interesting back then. Um, and we were the first company to receive the license for promoting the Egyptian citizenship by investment program from the Egyptian citizenship by investment unit reporting to the Prime Minister office. So this is very, very quickly who we are and our background and history.
You said in 2019 the parliament approved of, we're going to call it that CBI to make it shorter.
Yes, this is
Uh,
citizenship by investment. Yes,
Investment,
CBI.
exactly. To Egypt, in Italy, you can acquire an Egyptian passport, صح,
Yes,
through investment. And you
yes,
said it was
yes.
very interesting at the time. Why do you
It
say
is
it's
still interesting, by the way, because
okay?
I'm assuming you as well asking who wants that.
That was يعني. So let's get into it. My first question, and it's a two-part question, is what are the rules for someone to acquire citizenship CBI in Egypt? And for example, I work in Gouna. How can someone looking into Gouna acquire the CBI? And the second part is exactly who wants that?
Okay, so the law, which is number 140 for the year 2019, gives the investors four routes to receive or to apply basically for the Egyptian citizenship. It's either by purchasing a property with $300,000 or uh, making a donation of a $250,000 or investing in companies with $350,000 plus a donation of $100,000 to the government, or to make a bank deposit with $500,000 for 3 years.
Okay.
Now, the most popular choice for now is the $300,000 for the property purchase. And this is specifically because the law has they adjusted the law in September 2023, allowing applicants to purchase properties from individual and outside the government developers. So private developers, individuals, you can
So
buy
up until
now.
2023, it was only through government means, and since 2023, it's much more flexible, yani, as you're saying.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So now people can, for example, purchase in Gouna and still qualify for the program.
Okay.
Now,
And continue. Sorry.
the other question, the other part is who is interested in this, right?
Okay. Exactly.
So in Egypt, we have, according to the latest estimates, around 9 million foreigners living in Egypt. Okay. And a lot of them, they would be way better off having the citizenship rather than renewing their residency card by every year or every 3 years. Of course, it's better for them to own properties, to register properties as an Egyptian. Some of them, it's better for banking. Some of them, it's better for traveling. Because the Egyptian passport, yes, it's not the best passport in terms of visa-free access. However, it's still better than 100 other countries.
Okay.
So we are exactly in the middle of the spectrum in terms of the passport. Some other countries, they have problems and serious problems in banking, in traveling, in sanctions. They are suffering from a lot of problems like wars, political disturbances. So they actually moved to Egypt. Some of them, they actually moved to Egypt. And moving to Egypt is, I'm assuming one of them, you can see in the Red Sea, for example, it's perfect weather and amazing nature. Some are seeing this as a good family environment suitable for their kids and their wives to be in Egypt, which is much more safer than any other place. And Egypt has always been the safe haven for the Arabs in general.
Okay.
So whenever there is a conflict in one country, automatically you find them taking the flight immediately to Egypt. Regardless, it's an investment like destination or not, but at least they feel safe, and Egyptians are very welcoming. So I can assure you that we have such hospitality that is not in many other countries like ours.
I'm sure. I wrote down a note actually. Is there a specific nationality or area, like more Africans, more Europeans, more Asia, يعني في specific or depends that would apply for the
Okay,
CBI?
most popular are of course the ones who are already in Egypt. So, for example, Syrians, Palestinians, Sudanese, Libyans,
Okay.
Iraqis. Those are the ones who has been here for generations actually, and some of them just moved recently here.
Yeah.
Some Lebanese, but recently we started receiving interest from Europeans,
Interesting.
and especially the ones who are buying in the Red Sea.
Yeah.
So we started receiving from Germans, from British, from actually we have the first American and Canadians. They got also approved, and we have a lot of nationalities from Europe, and of course Russia, because the Russians they come to Egypt a lot. Just Egypt Air has 14 flights every week. We have 35,000 Russians visiting Egypt on a weekly basis. Last year, we received 1 million tourists from Russia.
Okay.
So So we have a lot of traffic. So 13 million in general, like 13 million tourists. I'm assuming a lot of them would want to settle in a nice place. If they
For
get a
sure.
decent property, they would definitely go for it.
For sure. You mentioned some key points. You said Germans, British, Red Sea, warm, safe, which all points to where I'm living right now, Gouna. So if I have someone coming to me, I work mainly in off-plan properties, yeah. So payment by installments, delivery in 2 years. But someone who's coming to me who's only like his first priority is CBI. So I come to Henny, what are the steps? What needs to happen for this to happen?
Okay, so first thing they need to contract with a government authorized agent, which we are basically the first company to get this license.
Okay.
We will guide the client depending on his nationality and depending on his documents that needs to be provided. We get them a file number after submission, and after the file number, they are free either to purchase directly from you.
Okay.
Let's assume you are a private developer, or they have the option to wait until they get approved and then they do the investment, either it's with you or with anyone else. So the steps are usually first come and take a file number and then you do the purchase. So whatever you purchased before the file number doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
No, doesn't. It does not count.
And okay, so I does an off-plan property, even if it's for example $500,000, could that count? But so the
Yes,
payments,
yes.
okay,
Yes, condition that you provide the building permit document and the something called like a letter from Orascom showing which is the government entity that you are purchasing the land from. So in case of the if it's the Red Sea Authority or the Egyptian housing and development, like you need to give me a letter telling me who is the ultimate owner or who provided you with this land. And this is a very simple document that you can provide, and the building permit. And it could be off plan, no problem.
and if not like the total property is 500,000, but for example, you paid down payment of 50,000 or whatever, and it didn't get to 300,000, it's still within the process. It's still okay if he's providing proof that the payments are coming in.
The applicant need to actually pay $300,000. And there is also a process for that. So actually, the client who wish to purchase from you need to come to Egypt, open a bank account, transfer $300,000 to his bank account in Egypt, and then pay you in Egyptian pounds what's equivalent to 300,000. He can make the rest over 2, 3, 4, 5 years, depending on your agreement with him or her, and you can make the rest of the 200,000 as installments, for example. But
Okay, but the
at
300,000, they have to come
needs
in
to be
one payment.
paid and confirmed that they have been transferred and paid to you, and we get a letter of confirmation of payment, and then we get the final approval, which is the certificate of citizenship and the passports after that.
So I think it's safe to say or assume that resale properties with values of 300,000 or more are more uh, popular for people looking for
It could be
CDIs.
both. No, no, no. Both are okay. You can sell off plan. You can, for example, you have a client who's coming to you. Hi, I want to do the Egyptian citizenship, and I like a property for 500,000. You refer the client to our firm. We're going to finish his application as soon as possible. 2, 3 weeks. He gets the documents. He gets his file number, and then next day he can purchase from you.
Yeah, that's a question also you answered. So 2, 3 weeks is the estimated time to get a file, and that has to be the first step.
Yes, without the
Okay.
file number, he cannot purchase anything. Not off plan, not ready.
Okay, now I would like us, first of all, thank you so much for this
Welcome.
because I also learned from myself. And I want to switch for it from an Egyptian point of view who's looking to buy abroad.
Okay.
Uh, couple of questions. How many countries do you work in right now? And one of the most popular destination, of course, the past years was Greece. What are the changes that are happening right now in the market?
1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Can we pause a little bit? Just 1 second.
طبعا.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay, نرجع تاني.
We're back. Okay.
Okay.
So do you want me to repeat the question or I remember it?
Yes, we are now working in 16 countries. So
Okay.
this
Wow.
means this means all the 5 Caribbean countries. We do the EB5 for America. We do the multiple programs in Canada. We are doing Greece, Malta, Portugal, Hungary, Spain, what else? Italy, Latvia. So all of these countries that are offering, and of course Cyprus. So all of these countries that are offering residency or citizenship by investment, we do work in them. Now, as you said that Greece is one of the popular destinations that people like to purchase in it. However, few changes and adjustment to the law happened in the 1st of September. Now, the value of the property needs to be above 400,000 euros, and this is in some areas and in 36 municipalities. That includes Vula Armani, Vula, Glifada, Santorini, Mykonos. Those areas now it has to be above 800,000 euros to
So
qualify for.
basically, the hot areas, the hot central areas, 800,000. The areas, the suburbs or not suburbs, the other maybe not so popular, starting 400,000.
Yes. Also, a few other options are now also open. So now you can do a startup for 250,000. Now you can purchase a property that has been converted from commercial or historical of origin to residential, which is we are facing some difficulty finding something that has this kind of permit now with also 250,000. Or you can simply just do a bank deposit for 500,000 euros, and that's it, interest free.
Okay. And
So
what
this is
about the other destinations, like in
the
euros?
other destinations. Spain, 500,000 euros. You purchase a property. However, this program is as well going to stop by January. This, like in
20 in
2 months,
1 month
basically.
or around 2 months.
Yeah,
Increase
it's
or
going.
stop?
Spain is going to stop.
Portugal
Uh,
also stopped real estate, right? Now it's only starting
Yes,
company.
Spain, Portugal, they stopped the real estate option. So now you have to invest in funds with 500,000 euros, or to do a donation with a 250,000 euros, or to establish a company or invest in companies that generate 10 employment opportunities for the coming 5 years with at least 500,000 euros.
Okay.
But again, each country has its pros and cons. It depends what are the requirement of each client. We have also Malta is going to increase its investment requirement. So it used to be 150,000 of donations. Now it's going to cross 220,000 of donations and like expenses and so on, starting from the 1st of January. The new player, which is an old player but came back, is Hungary, and the program is 250,000 euros of investment in real estate funds, and another 65 or 70,000 euros of fees that is on top of the fund. Italy, investment in companies, 500,000 euros, or in startups and innovative companies with 250,000 euros. So yeah, this is
Depends.
the options that are available. Again, it's something that is very tailored because I need to sit with the client and know why he wants to do that, and then I recommend the suitable program for the client.
Final question or final thing. And there is no person better than you to speak to it about.
Yeah, okay, tell me.
So since I work, of course, in El Gouna, and we are priced in dollars, and of course it's a niche destination on one of if not the top destination in Egypt, I believe. A lot of times, one of the things I hear the most is that, oh, with this price, I can buy in Europe, which I understand. So, other than the CBI, other than citizenship by investment, personally speaking, I never knew what is this infatuation with Europe. Of course, it's nice, but I mean, okay, this is a personal preference. But my question to you was, you know and have been to Gouna, you know and have been, you're an expert on the other destinations. When people say with these prices they can buy in Europe or whatever, is it comparing apples to apples? The mana. What I mean is, El Gouna is 38 million square meters of a private land with its own amenities, with its own security, with 400 outlets, 200 of them are being maybe F&B outlets, with private schools, with beaches. You know how El Gouna is. I don't need to go on and on about it. Is it the same apple they can buy with the same price? For example, like the starting price, I would say is $4,000 per square meter, or 4,200 starting price per square meter here in Gouna. Is that the same thing they can buy in Europe? Do you understand my question?
Yes. If you give the buyers in Gouna Schengen residency permit, then you are comparing apple to apple. If not,
Yeah,
then it's not.
of
It's
course.
not a comparison at all when you are comparing residency permit with the 26 countries access to you and your wife and the kids, and comparing it to real estate. This is not a fair fight. Okay?
Yeah,
So if the client, the one who's asking you, is saying, I want to buy, I can buy in Greece with the same amount, then why are you buying? Then you are buying for the residency permit, not for the real estate. You are not buying for the destination. Of course, Gouna is a beautiful destination. I'm always saying this is the Rolls Royce of Egypt.
it is.
So
I agree.
it's my first recommendation usually to any client, to be honest, because of the weather, not just the weather, the whole project is of really good value. And I'm assuming there are a lot of people who are already living full with their kids and schools and everything. They are living, and they call themselves the Goonies, if I'm not
Goonies.
mistaken.
True, like
So
myself.
yes, so basically, it's not comparing. If you are comparing giving a residency permit of Europe to just buying a property in Egypt, this is not fair comparison. So you have to ask the question, why are you buying? If you are buying for residency permit, then yes, call Prime Properties to get you a property in in Europe, and it will be yes with some similar pricing. If you are buying because you like the destination, regardless of the residency permit that is going to give you, then definitely I would go for Gouna. Definitely.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic. I'm sure there is a lot of, and hopefully, I want to keep this, respect your time, and hopefully, if people like love it, we can have a part two because there's a lot of things I still want to ask you about. And to end, I just want to ask you if you have any advice you want to give for someone like exploring CBI, or if anything you want to talk about, and how can people know more about prime properties, their service, and where to reach you.
First of all, they can visit our Instagram. It's very active, and we have also a YouTube channel that has more extensive interviews and longer versions um, of the videos that we post on Instagram. So if someone want to go deep, we have longer interviews on YouTube channel. So they just visit our website, primeproperties.com.eg, and from there they can press on the link they want to go to. And if they have any question about any of the countries we provide our services in, they are most welcome, of course. And at the end, thank you very much for having me. And of course, I'm looking forward for another episode. I hope it will be in person, either in Gouna or in
Inshallah.
Cairo. Okay, thank you
Inshallah.
very much, Ali.
Pleasure. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.